Here's a preview of this episode.
Anyways, I'm excited about today's episode. It's going to be a little different. Showcase what a great city Denver is for comedians. We might hit 6 mics.
Establishment, yeah. It's a pretty good open mic.
It was a pleasant surprise.
It's good that you were doing new material, because like you did new material.
And now, this episode.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Masters. I'm going to have Jacob Jonas here in a second. Just wanted to say hello. Just catch up with y'all. I don't know, I saw Hannibal Buress late last night. Got very little sleep. He had a late pop-in show at the Downtown Comedy Works. It was a lot of fun to hang out with some comics, and it was a good time. Anyways, I'm excited about today's episode. It's going to be a little different. We're going to, instead of driving to a faraway mic, we're going to drive to a lot of close mics. Really, hopefully showcase what a great city Denver is for comedians trying to improve their craft. If everything goes super well, we might hit 6 mics, which is crazy. It's 3 p.m. right now, and we'll finish around 1 or 2 a.m. if we are able to hit 6. And in the middle, we'll go to Comedy Works' legendary New Talent Night. My newest kind of habit is to go there as much as I can and watch all the comics up until notes, which means all the comics that are not yet to the almost famous phase, the newbies, C levels, and B levels, and just kind of watch what they're good at, what they maybe could improve upon, so I can, in an effort to make myself better. Last night I went to the Bug Theater as well. That was fun. You might have heard about that in the episode with Phil Corridor. If you missed that one, check it out. We drove to Looney's in Colorado Springs. And yeah, I'll be back in just a moment, and we'll get this kicked off. See you soon. Hey everybody, Mark Masters.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. Jacob Jonas recording live. You say potato, I say potato. We are headed right now, 11 minutes, 3.5 miles to the world famous Breakfast King. Open since 1975. Amazing. Right. This
long time Denver establishment.
Yeah, but not a long time open mic.
Establishment, yeah. It's a pretty good open mic.
It is. How many weeks old is it? It's in weeks, right?
It's weeks. I think this is the 3rd one, pretty sure.
Right on.
You've only been once, right?
Yeah. This will be number 2. Jeff Stonick runs it, right? Does he run it by himself? Or?
He runs it by himself. It's kind of in conjunction. Josh Emerson, Elliot Weber, and I created Deadroom Comedy, which is like a comedy production company. So it's kind of in conjunction with that because he uses our sound system and everything.
Is that like a company in the eyes of the state, or is it just like your?
It's we actually registered as an LLC back in January.
Fancy.
Yeah, so we're a little more than just a friends group. But
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. We run a brunch show at a place called There, which is in Low-High. It's pretty good. It's once a month right now.
Nice. Is it like ambushed, or people know it's coming?
No, yeah, it's definitely the owner's definitely on board.
Nice.
So we do promotion and stuff with him.
Cool. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing just under 3 years.
Okay.
I started in Durango about 2.5 years ago.
How do you describe Durango for people? It's like 8 hours away or something?
Yeah,
south?
it's like the most southwestern point of Colorado. It's like a little mountain town. It's like 30 minutes from New Mexico. But it's a really strong comedy scene down there. I mean, for like the amount of people that is there. It's only like, I think 20,000 or 16,000 or something. But, you know, they got a few open mics down there, a few showcases.
Nice. That's cool. How often could you get stage time when you were down there?
It fluctuated. There was like open mics that would open and close. I think at our peak there was 4 places a week. One of them was a music open mic that we just kind of ambushed.
That's pretty good. 4 places.
Yeah. But now I think it's only one.
Okay.
Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
Not even 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah. A year and a half plus some change, I guess. I don't like that question so much. I would prefer to say, how many times have I gotten on stage?
yeah, that's
Which is
more accurate.
I think I actually don't know. I'll look it up, and next time we get on camera, I'll check. I feel like, I don't know, 400 maybe?
400
Like that.
times?
Yeah.
How many times have you bombed?
Oh, jeez. 399? I mean, I'm always doing something wrong.
Right.
Like, just last night, I was up at the Bug Theater, had a pretty solid set.
Oh, did you do Freak Train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the playback today, and I was supposed to say Twix, and I said Kit Kat, inexplicably. And, like, the joke didn't go quite as well as I expected it to, and now I know why. Because I said the wrong thing.
You said the wrong candy.
Yeah.
What was the joke? Was it?
It's you. I think you've heard it. The yard long.
Oh,
box.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just said yard long box of Kit Kat, and then later I say on the outside it says I love you Twix much.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure people in the audience were like, wait, wasn't he just talking about Kit Kat? Like,
Yeah.
how did he get to? Is he just making this up? Is this total
Is
BS?
he having a stroke? Yeah.
It was one of those situations where you couldn't see the audience at all. The
Right,
lights are
yeah.
so bright there, you can't see anybody.
Yeah.
So that freaks me out still. I don't have
It's
like
too
a
big of
theater
a stage.
background or anything, so it's kind of terrifying.
Was that your first time doing Freak Train?
No, I did it once before.
Oh, nice.
So that was nice. And they didn't have any kind of set up, which was really cool.
Mhm.
Like the last time I was in some trailer park or something.
Yeah.
It's a theater that puts on plays usually.
Right.
But it was like totally absent of a set, so it was just like a big black stage. And that was
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a good. I went for the first time last month. Yeah, it was a really good show.
It's great. It's one of the few mics in the Denver area, maybe the only one that you have to pay for.
Right.
You
Right.
pay $5 and you get 2 free beers.
Right. Exactly.
So it's
It's
it
like a
works
drink
out.
ticket, pretty much.
Yeah. And you get 5 minutes. And last night, I want to say there were 60 paying audience members.
Wow.
Which is, for an open mic, that's absurd.
Yeah.
That's like such luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty terrific.
I was thinking about, because it's like you could do anything on that stage.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking about doing something that's like totally, like I don't even
Like
know
not
what.
stand up.
Yeah, well, it would be like funny, but it would be like.
Do a sketch.
Yeah, a
with a couple
sketch or
people. That would be
something.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Or a series of sketches. 'Cause
I just-
5 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, and I think that it's like a really good opportunity. Like it's a huge audience. It's
Juggle.
you have like a huge stage. Yeah, learn how to juggle.
Mime, clown.
Be a juggling mime.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so how long have you been? Where did we met at a mic? Was that Voodoo?
Yeah, no, it was Syntax Opera House.
Yes.
That
okay.
was
Yeah,
you. You were literally the first comedian I ever talked to in the Denver
yeah.
scene.
How about that? Let's share your experience.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I was nice.
Yeah, it was good. I think you gave me your card, and then I just told you I was from Durango, and it was apparently a really good crowd at Syntax. I only did that mic like a few times, but that night there was like maybe 10 non-comedians in the audience, so
Right.
apparently it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're super nice, super welcoming.
Cool. I don't know. I try to be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
But especially newer people, because I felt like it's hard. People are not super welcoming.
Yeah. No.
It's almost like sometimes it feels like people would prefer that people quit. So that
Yeah.
there's less
Because there'd be more stage
competition
time.
and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard. The Denver scene is notoriously rough compared to other scenes. Like I've heard like San Francisco is really great.
Yeah.
I recently went to New York, and I was
Oh, cool.
expecting. Yeah, I like did some shows, and I had like a week full of open mics, and I was like fully expecting to get shit on, and like,
Where were you? What island?
I was on Manhattan, or I was in
Oh, wow.
Manhattan.
Did you pay for your mics?
Yeah, so I did it for like the novelty of it, like
Sure, yeah,
But yeah, it was really cool. I actually did a set at the Gotham Comedy Club.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. My sister, she had a comedian friend who did it a few months ago,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a bringer show.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like a new talent thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. How do you, your sister had enough friends?
Yeah, so my sister, she's based out of, she works in New York and lives there, so she brought like 15 or 30 people, and then I knew some people in New York,
Wow.
So I reached out to them. But it was awesome. I got a great tape from it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I went to Gotham and Jim Gaffigan was there.
Oh, really?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was that bringer show, but he just showed up in the middle. I was just sitting in the back. I didn't perform at all. I got to talk with him, and that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Was there a famous drop-in?
I think Andrew Schulz was on the show.
The best.
Yeah,
I love
isn't
him.
he? I didn't see him, but he was on the show after us, or after the new talent. Yeah, he's a good comedian.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
But yeah, I was doing open mics.
That's awesome. And you thought people were nicer there?
Yeah, I mean it was super. I don't know if it was like because you paid for it and like the audience care. Like even if the audience is comedians, they paid to be there, so like they might as well. I don't know. I mean it was just like every mic that I did was better attended than Denver mics. I mean they were like $5, but you know it was still fun.
I will say I get to travel quite a bit, so I see a lot of other comedy scenes. And Denver has some of the sharpest comics.
Really?
So even if we're kind of mean, it works in terms of developing skills.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And I've actually heard people say that the scene is much softer than it used to be.
Really?
Like 5-10 years ago.
Wow.
It was just brutal. But a lot of amazing comics have come out of that, and TV credits, and all kinds of they're touring, and
I've talked to my friends about that pretty consistently, about like how important, like bombing at really shitty open mics is very important, right? Because like you get so comfortable just listening to yourself speak with no response, but then it comes to a point where it's like if you're at a mic at like 1 a.m. and you've waited for like 3 hours, and you're gonna do 3 minutes in front of like 2 people. Like, is that worth your time? Like, is that worth...
If I've already been there for 3 hours, it's like a sunk cost. I'll probably stick it out. But if I like, just last time I was at Kinga's, which hopefully will be the last mic we do tonight, I walked in, there were like 25 comics waiting to go. They were just starting. I was going to be 26th on the list, and I pretty much turned around and walked out.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, it's not... I've already done 3 mics tonight.
Right.
I don't need this, it's not the best stage time.
Right.
Speaking of stage time, let's we're going to be there in about 5 minutes. So, I guess 2 questions. What are you hoping to do tonight at the various mics we're going to go to, and specifically, what do you hope to get out of your Breakfast King set?
Breakfast King. So in general, I wrote down. I have like jokes that are semi-hashed out. And so like the past week I've been doing new material, and then now I've gotten to a point where I have like 5 or 6 jokes that I've said a few times, so I'm just trying to hammer those in just in general. For the Burger King mic, maybe Burger not the Burger King, fucking Breakfast King. I'm gonna do material that is more family friendly, not 100%.
Of course.
We're
going to 2 clean mics tonight.
Oh, is boba tea clean?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
no, not poop.
Oh, poop. Oh, darn it. Fuck. I think those are important. I think clean mics are important.
Yeah. They at boba tea, they like say if a kid walks in, make sure they're clean. But
immediate abortion jokes.
I think it's whatever.
Yeah.
So you're trying to work on material that you are still trying to polish.
Yeah. So I have like, I would say I probably have like 15 to 20 minutes of like material I'd be comfortable doing with a showcase. But I'm like, I mean, I've like developed it over the past 2 years, and I've had it for the past few months, and I'm kind of tired of it. So I'm trying to expand on that, like really polished material. So it's like I'm like putting jokes like through the woodworks almost. It's like raw, doughy material, hash out, and then don't do it again until showcase set.
That's pretty process oriented. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you write all your stuff down?
For the most part, yes. Sometimes I'll get lazy and I write a lot while I'm doing mics, and I just never get around to putting it in my phone. And it sucks because like that's all on me, and there'll be jokes that I forget about for like a month, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's like a little scribble on like one of my, you know, joke pages or whatever,
Right.
and so I'll forget about it for like a few months. I'm trying to write everything down.
And then how do you find it? Do you go back through your old
Yeah,
books?
so actually for the past like few weeks I've been trying new material and then hashing out really, really old material, and so I went through, I have like 2 joke documents on Google Docs from the past 2 years, and so I went through like every single joke and tried to just pick out the ones that would be
Nice. I want to do that.
interesting. Yeah, it's really beneficial because like you forget about shit.
Yeah, totally.
And if you like, I listened to my recordings recently, and so that's kind of what gave me.
Huh. Yeah, the cool thing is when you can weave an old joke you've abandoned into a new bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like maybe you talk about a turtle, like in a joke you did 2 years ago,
Right.
but you have some new joke that's about somebody moving slow.
Right.
And you're like, oh man, I can use that turtle thing in here, and then it just punches up your current
Right.
material.
And it can be like a sentence, like just one sentence. And
Yeah,
you're like,
something
okay.
real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very beneficial.
Okay. Well, my goals for today, it's like 3 in the afternoon, so it's hard to say tonight. We're putting in like a serious shift here. If we go to like 1 in the morning, that's 8 hours. So, real comedy shift. I want to not repeat any material.
Oh, that's good.
All day today. And I figure we could do anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes of total stage time.
Yeah.
So I want now the one thing I'm going to do to cheat a little bit to make that happen is I try not to do the same material 2 weeks in a row at the same mic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to break that rule to make
Yeah.
for this other, try and do new stuff all the way through. And then for some, I have specific tags for different things. Like, I think I actually have no idea how I'm going to accomplish that. So I'm hoping at Breakfast King I have some time in front of my notebook to kind of chart out how I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do at Breakfast King is try and do all my one-liners, like just very short jokes. I'm not like a one-liner comic,
Yeah.
but I'm going to try and do a whole set of very quick things.
Oh, interesting.
So.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, because Mutiny is like, what, 10 minutes? Or it's like 7 minutes that you get?
I think it's like 5, but Jose is so laid back that
Right.
you just kind of go until
Right. Yeah, you could
he gets bored.
you could push like 30 minutes of
Yeah,
material.
you might get to 30, because you can do 10 at Boba Tea
Oh, really?
right there. That's
Wow.
so I don't know if that will work, and kind of like sometimes I get nervous and go to a joke that I know always works,
Mhm.
and that will ruin.
Yeah, well,
this,
just make sure
this
you don't
plan.
do that.
Yeah, I gotta just make sure I know what I'm doing at each mic. So we'll see how that goes. And at Breakfast King, I want to try out doing one-liners, and then I kind of want to do like at Boba Tea, I might do stories. So
Uh-huh.
just do kind of like different thematic
Yeah, that's
stuff.
interesting.
Then I'll do like a showcase set at Scruffy's. I don't know anything about the goods.
Have you been there?
No.
Oh, it's
Oh
so-
well, I went once like over a year ago,
Uh-huh.
and there was a film festival and they had canceled the mic, and I'm not on Facebook, so I didn't hear about it.
Chuck,
So I've been inside, but never to the mic.
it's a great mic. I mean, Chuck Roy and Mike Langworthy hosted. They co-hosted, and they have like 20 plus years of experience, both of them, in comedy, and it's like a really good workshop mic. Like it's all comedians, but it's like a very cool, chill vibe.
How much time is it?
7 to 10, I think.
Jeez, there's no. My thing is not gonna work. We're gonna get up to like 40 minutes
Mhm.
tonight.
Yeah, I love the good stuff. Do you get insecure about doing jokes over and over again in front of the same people?
I don't know if insecure is the right. I mean, I'm definitely insecure on stage.
Right.
I'm always insecure for lots of reasons on stage, but I do. Yeah, I worry about that. Like I
Right.
worry that people. I don't know. I think it's just a reflection of my reaction to seeing people do the same material.
Right.
I'm not pro it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like every once in a while, like do you see Michael Isaacs very often?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
he's somebody who, if he repeats a bit, like I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
he's so good.
it's because it's the performance.
and it's just it's so unique and original.
Right.
But if I saw him do it 5 times in 3 days, I might be like,
Yeah.
come on, dude.
Yeah.
Let's see something else. So that's how I feel about other comics. I'm like, come on, like, let's hear something new.
Right.
And you never know, like, sometimes, like, I will do the same set, but I just want to practice one little tag.
Right.
Or one little act out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at that, where I don't try to repeat material too much. Because it gets boring for me, you know? And it's like, if you're not invested in it, then...
Well, the part that gets boring for me is when people aren't laughing. Like,
Right.
if it's all comics and they've all seen my material before, I want to have something new. Because
Right.
I don't want to be up there not getting any laughs.
Yeah, on
You know?
jokes that you know work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know will not work in front of these people.
Right, exactly. It's like a waste of time.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that the Secret Comedy Works offices are right near here?
Top of the show building?
Very
Schulz.
close to there. Wendy Curtis, the owner of Comedy Works, has a story about that
Oh, interesting.
club.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. We are here at the Breakfast King,
Oh,
and
Jeff is here.
we will tune back in. Where are we going from here? We're going from the Boba
Here
Tea.
to Boba Tea.
All right. It's 3:20 p.m. We've driven 5.2 miles so far. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hey there, podcast listeners. This is Mark Masters. The web series viewers right now are watching a montage of Jacob and I walking into the Breakfast King. Jeff Stonick at the Breakfast King, ready for setup. And then a quick view of the open mic in full swing.
All right, we're back.
Boom, we're back.
We did the Breakfast King. We did it. We're off to T Street. 13 minutes, 4.3 miles. Why don't you talk to the lovely people, Jacob?
Boom.
What happened in
Breakfast King was fun. It was great. It's an early open mic. Starts at 4:30, I believe. It's cool to have one of those early mics here in Denver. Since I've been in the scene, we haven't had a mic that starts before 6 p.m. So it's pretty cool to be able to get, 5 or 6 mics in for one night.
Yeah, there's a good crowd there too.
Yeah, good crowd.
Yeah.
Mostly, I think it was on that side, there's like a barrier, but I think it was 100% comedians.
Yeah, for sure.
But still, they're receptive.
That's what I meant, actually.
Yeah.
Not a good crowd in the sense of civilians.
Right. But as far as people paying attention and listening, it's a good mic.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What do you think of your material, of your...
It's good.
talent,
I had to hold back a little bit because most of the stuff that I'm working on is not, 4 p.m. diner friendly.
Yeah.
But still worked on it and
Nice.
kind of moved some jokes around. So hopefully there's no kids at the T Street mic because I want to start doing
Let
some
loose.
material. Let loose.
After dark material.
Yeah.
I feel good right now about being able to do upwards of 40 minutes of fresh material, because I didn't even get through everything that I had for that mic, so I have extra stuff in the reserve now. I don't feel good about, right before I went up, I made a little list of things I wanted to work on, and top one was move my arms a lot.
Oh, really?
I've been watching video of myself, and something I've been doing relatively recently is leaving the mic in the mic stand,
Uh-huh.
and I tend to put my hands right over where my jean pockets are and just leave
Interesting.
them there a lot of the set. And so I wanted to be more dynamic and move, and I got up and I had my notebook and my piece of paper and my phone, and I was kind of flummoxed, and I'm sure nobody noticed, but to me I was I'm supposed to be moving my arms, but I have all this crap in my hands. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. I think definitely body language is a huge part of it.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of comics, newer comics, they have very closed off body language.
it was kind of fun doing some old jokes that people haven't heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing about the turnover in the comedy scene. There's new ears all the time, even if it's just comics.
Like new comics all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did something brand new at the top that I just thought of while I was sitting there. And that was kind of fun.
Oh, the coronavirus?
Yeah, and it wasn't there was no punchline. It wasn't very funny, but it was just, I don't know. I'm working on just at least being interesting
Yeah.
behind the mic and
There's
a little more natural.
There's a reoccurring theme throughout the mic.
Yeah, they picked up its own little steam, as it were. Yeah. So let's talk more about, I don't know. Oh, you did tell me that you made a documentary or something like that.
Yeah, so actually it was about the Breakfast King. We had a pop-up show there last Saturday or Sunday morning. We got there at 12 a.m. and there was a big table of high school varsity wrestlers. So it was in that same area, except for we switched the position of the mic, so it was on the other side. Did a show there. The high schoolers were super receptive of it. It was really fun. We got some hecklers at the end, but it was like at the very end. It was just like this, I said probably a drunk guy or something just yelling. But yeah, I just did a little movie documentary. It's on my channel, so
okay.
It's like
YouTube
5
channel?
minutes. Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Jacob Jonas.
Okay, right. We'll link it in the show notes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to do more YouTube stuff and just like more multimedia stuff.
How do you edit?
I have Sony Vegas Pro, so I just
Sony Vegas Pro.
yeah, it's
I
like
don't even know what that is.
I think most people use like Adobe After Effects or something, or like the Adobe video, but yeah, I just use Sony Vegas. It's fun. I like it.
Like Vegas, like Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting. I find movie editing frustrating.
Really?
Not fun. A different F word. It just takes so long.
Yeah. There's like a set, like it can be like...
And I'm always running out of disk space. And it's not I have like an ancient computer. I have like, not a terabyte, but gigabytes upon gigabytes. I have so much, but I have to keep buying these external hard drives to like offload all this. These episodes are enormous.
Yeah,
like,
they're huge. Yeah, I saw they're like
they're like 100 gigabytes of raw footage, and then I have to make a copy of it to edit it, and then, there might be multiple versions, and there you got 400 megabytes per episode, and I've got 15 episodes so far. It's like
it's a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah. There's something like about editing that there's something like cathartic about it sometimes. Like when you like edit everything together and you cut it perfectly.
Yeah. It could be a length thing too. Like some of my episodes are 1 to 2 hours long. It's like an unmanageable size for editing. Like I don't know how Ken Burns and like real filmmakers. Like how that works. Like do they just they have hundreds of hours of footage. Do they make notes about like everything and then just
a team of people?
See, it's overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I work in. My mind is now wired to do 3-minute gross bar comedy sets.
You can't even interact.
Anything beyond 3 minutes is it blows up my mind.
You're having a conversation. You're like, that's my time. I gotta get out of here.
What? Here's a question I ask almost everybody. If you could, let me back up. Where and what was your first open mic?
My first open mic was in Durango, Colorado. It's at a place called Laugh Therapy. Still probably one of the best rooms I've ever done. It's like the most supporting.
Is it like a comedy?
Yeah, so place? It's like it's an underground bar, but they have a back room called the Underground. So like the Irish Embassy is the actual place in Durango, and then they have a back room called the Underground, which is a perfect comedy room. Like low ceilings, they have a stage. So yeah, I did. It was I think 2016. I did my first set there, and I remember I told the first 2 jokes, and they both bombed super hard. And then I told myself, I was like, okay, if this next joke bombs, I'm never gonna do this ever again. And the 3rd joke went well.
Nice.
But sometimes, dude, if it's like 2 years in, I'm at an open mic at 1 a.m. and I'm like, man, sometimes I wish that 3rd joke just bombed so I could have a normal life. But yeah, that's when I started.
Cool. If you could go back and tell yourself anything that would help you over the next several years, what would you tell if you could hop into a time machine?
That's a good question. I would say don't take bombing too personally. I remember the second open mic that I ever did, I bombed and I didn't do comedy for like 6 weeks. But it was like I was like, wow, I'm not a good comedian or whatever. But then, I guess bombing kind of puts time, like at the very beginning, it put time gaps in between when I did sets. So probably that, and then just be more conversational, be yourself more. because that's huge for me. I just enjoy. I've really gotten into being able to just talk instead of having hashed out jokes.
Yeah, there goes Washington Park.
Wash Park.
Famous park in Denver. Nice houses over here. That's cool.
Jeez.
That's cool. Do you think you deserved a bomb, or was it a bad room? Or
Oh yeah, I deserved a bomb.
Okay. So
because it was just like material, like, you know, it was like my second open mic. It was like material that, you know, I had not hashed out at all.
right.
There was one time, so I went to Spain for 9 months. So I started stand up, did it for like 6 or 7 months, and then I went to Spain for a year to study abroad. And then halfway through the year, I came back to go see my sister in New York, and I was in Denver for one night, and I did the Streets open mic, like Streets of London.
Okay.
And it was the first open mic I ever did in Denver, and that's the hardest.
Such a hard mic.
That's the hardest I think I've ever bombed. It was.
Have you done Lions Lair?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think is harder, Lions Lair or Streets?
I think Lions Lair, Streets, and Three Kings are all on the same level of
I think Three Kings is friendlier.
Really? You think
both
so?
Of those, yes.
I haven't done Three Kings in like a year.
Yeah, I like Three Kings now. Because they get some people at the bar and they'll pay attention.
I've
and it's
done,
earlier. It's a better time.
That's true.
Maybe for me, I struggle as a comedian with the late night stuff. Not to sound
true.
like an old person, but I just get tired.
Yeah.
And so that could be why I think those other ones are worse, because they're like
that makes
6
sense.
hours later.
That's a good point. I think that probably Streets and Lair are on the same level because they're at the same time and they're just like empty bars.
Yeah, I feel like Lions Lair might be just slightly easier because there's a stage.
Yeah, there's a stage. Well, I mean, Streets has a stage, but it's just.
Is it raised?
Like,
I guess it is.
Raised.
It's but barely.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter because there's nobody in the first 4 rows.
Oh shoot! I'm supposed to try. Some traffic violations.
Glad that we have this on camera.
This is not the worst thing people have seen.
On your camera.
Yeah. Yeah, and for whatever reason, I've only been to Streets less than 5 times, and usually in the summer, and a lot of times there'll be nobody inside the bar.
Yeah.
It's like there are 30 comics there, and all 30 are out. 29 are on the patio, and I'm on stage.
Yeah, and there's like one.
And there's a
fucking
bartender
listener.
who doesn't care.
Yeah, literally. That's where it's like, is this helping my comedy career or not?
Right.
Like,
yeah, I haven't been to Streets in forever.
Yeah.
And I don't go to Lions Lair very often.
Yeah.
Just because it's so late. But yeah, those are tough mics.
Yeah.
But probably valuable. If you can get laughs there, you can get laughs anywhere.
Yeah. It's interesting to see the variety of different styles of open mics in Denver. Like there's like really dark, shitty ones, and then, you know, there's good ones.
Yeah. So far today, we've done 5 minutes each.
5 minutes each.
Yeah. And at this next mic, you can do up to 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and do 10. So I'll be at 15 after this mic. Why don't you share a goal and give me a challenge for this next mic, and I'll do the same for you. So
right.
my goal at this next mic is to do some older material that I haven't done before, including at least one story, and all fresh, none of the jokes that I told at Breakfast King, which should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Because so far I haven't done any like good material, or anything that I would say is in like my upper, let's say, third of material.
Yeah.
It was mostly throwaway old stuff, but some of it actually, I don't know, felt kind of good getting it out. So maybe I'll put some of those back into rotation.
I like the Casa Bonita joke. That's funny.
The delivery was so bad.
I know, you forgot the fucking punchline.
It was terrible. But it is good. I love the way it is a good joke.
I like how, I think if you lean more into building it up, you could just like build it up.
It's a good misdirect. It's a fun misdirect. But it's very hyper local.
Yeah.
You know, you have to almost have been there. Problem was I couldn't remember the words Casa Bonita. Like I knew the punchline. I didn't.
That place.
It's the
place with the waterfalls.
Yeah. Okay, my challenge for you is to do more than 6 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that was my goal. I would say, I guess my goal is to do do longer, I guess not, maybe a story, maybe some, like a joke that's longer than 2 minutes, because I've been doing a lot of one-liners and things like that. And then my challenge for you would be to use your body, use your arms.
Use my hands up. Okay, I'll work that in. I definitely have jokes at some point tonight where I have some act outs, and I have I have like a tag that I want to try that has its own physical emotion. It's brand new, hot off the presses, and it's silly. I think it will get some kind of reaction.
Do you get nervous when you have to do an act out or do something that you don't?
No, I do get nervous about voices though.
Oh, interesting.
And here's why. Here's something I learned, and I've said this on this podcast before, or web series, whatever, if you're seeing it or hearing it, but I heard it reinforced in another podcast this week, and so I feel like it's legitimate information. I was the only person that had ever experienced it before that I knew, but I've heard somebody else say the same thing now.
Fear of using voices?
No, this is what I did. I did an impersonation voice at Comedy Works, and it went terribly. And when I listened to the recording and watched the video, I don't sound at all like when I did it at open mics before.
Oh, really?
And there's something about like when your adrenaline's going, or at least for me personally, and I think a lot of other comics too, if you're nervous and scared and like hyped up, your voice changes.
Oh, interesting.
And it changes even more dramatically when you're trying to do an impersonation. At least for me. Maybe a very skilled impersonator wouldn't, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be nervous and maybe they're better at them, but I'm mediocre at them to start with. And I was super nervous, and it was bad.
You just botched it? What voice was it?
It was an Italian
Oh, man.
voice. It was an Italian voice. I'm not even sure I'm good at it when I'm not nervous.
Sounds like an American guy trying to do. It was an Italian voice.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't go great.
Did you do the hands?
I might have forgot to do the hands. Oh no! In that act out, I'm a piece of pasta, so I can't move my hands.
Do your hands.
Which is actually part of the problem.
Oh, that's interesting.
I need maybe the pasta needs to have its own hands. I don't know. That joke's kind of on a back burner for a while, but I love it. It's so silly and it's super clean. But I can't do a good Italian impersonation.
Yeah.
Which should be fairly easy. It's not like I'm trying to do Trump or Obama or, like a...
It's a very specific voice.
Yeah.
It's a general Italian.
Yeah. Anyways. Do you do many have you done any impersonations?
I was in a comedy competition in Durango, and I did like a girl voice that was like a staple of my set at the time, and you get judged at the end, and the judges judge you in front of an entire crowd, and one of the judges roasted me about it. He was like, "That's so hack, that's 90s, blah blah blah." And I was like, I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, like a girly voice. So that gave me something to think about.
Was it long or was it quick?
Yeah, I think it was quick. I mean, it was probably under a minute.
The voice?
Well, the entire joke.
Okay, yeah.
Not just talking for a minute with that voice. Yeah, I try. I don't know. I don't try to do like strictly impersonations, but I like to do act outs and like different characters and things like that.
Yeah, last night at Irish Rover, I have like very few jokes where I do voices, and there's one where I say, "Today is gonna be an amazing day," kind of like a Valley Girl, and it got a huge laugh. Like it's just like it's so dumb, and it only got a laugh because it sounded ridiculous and silly.
Today is gonna be an amazing day.
Yeah, you'll hear that bit later.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to bring it back. This is a kind of cool. Maybe after I do it, I'll talk about this a little bit more, but I'm trying. It's an old bit I have, and I'm trying to weave in a new joke into it, not in the way that we were talking about earlier, where you put like a one-liner into a longer bit. More like I'm trying to merge two like thematic elements.
Oh, interesting.
Like two bits together almost.
Oh, wow.
So, look who cut us off at the Breakfast King and beat us here.
Who's that?
I forget his name, but that guy. You can see
Okay.
All right. We'll be back after T Street.
10 minutes, baby.
Mark Masters. For the podcast listeners, the web series viewers are seeing us walk into T Street, and in a quick view of the mic and swing.
Hey everybody, we're back. We just finished at T Street, and we are going to Comedy Works, which is downtown, 8.5 miles away, 17-minute drive.
Oof.
Right now. That's slow going, slow and going. Kind of like the start of that mic.
It's kind of a start, you know.
But we got it going. I got to host a little, which was an unusual curveball, and I got to use up my extra jokes that I didn't do at Breakfast King. And I still have extra material in the hopper. So I did a minute and a half plus 10 minutes. So I'm up to 16 and a half minutes on the night. And I didn't even tell a long story. So I still got that to come. And I liked that material. It felt good. And there was one audience member and she was laughing. So
There's
that was
4, but 3 of them
well, yes,
couldn't
3 of them were deaf, which was a kind of an incredible coincidence because I didn't know they were deaf when I did my first minute and a half, which was amusing. Always good when you're bombing with somebody to see them signing later.
Yeah, it's the best case scenario, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, how'd you do with your, I forgot about my challenge.
I forgot about my
challenge. To move more,
too.
but I feel like I did have some movement in that, I had movement in my first joke. My first couple of bits, I had some movement. So, I moved a little bit. Maybe not a ton. I had trouble, that was a music mic, you know?
Right,
I think is what you call them. And those were always awkward for me.
Yeah, did a good job hosting though. That was good at the beginning.
Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, you did great. How much time did you do?
I totally forgot that I had 10 minutes. I did maybe 6 minutes.
Well, that was your challenge, to go over 6 minutes.
Yeah, so I did. I calculated it. I voice recorded both sets, and so I'm at a total of 10 or 11 right now.
Nice.
I think I did 4 or 5.
That's like 2-3 nights and a lot of a lot of times.
I mean, shit, in Durango, there's only 1 open mic a week, so that's like 2 weeks of material in Durango.
Yeah, that's cool. And your jokes did well. And you had another Burger King bit
Another
I have
Burger
not
King bit.
heard before.
Oh, really?
But your other Burger King bit, I've heard a bunch.
Yeah, that's my...
Is that, in Durango, is there only one restaurant and is it Burger King? Is that
that's
what's going on?
It's, yeah, no, I don't know where... I think I thought of that joke in Durango, but, yeah, it's been my closer for a while.
The other Burger King one.
Burger King abortion joke.
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
Arapahoe High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Lay some more comedy wisdom on me. You're my senior.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 3 years in.
Yeah.
What have you learned in your 3rd year, would you say? What was like at the end of your 2nd year? Like, where were you? What?
I think I'm like just at the end of my 2nd year. I started in 2016, but I did take like 9 months off. I would say for the first, I guess the most important thing that I've learned in the recent months, like really right when I got to Denver, I started looking at open mics as like workout sessions, like going into an open mic with the mentality of like, hey, none of this stuff might not, like, some of this stuff might not land, and that's fine. Like, telling a joke with no response is totally fine, just testing it out. So that was huge for me, just like going into a joke with no expectations, because then you don't get like personally attached to it, you know?
Yeah. That took 2 years to figure out.
I should have. I mean, the thing with Durango is that
I figured that out on like day 1.
It's because you started in Denver, didn't you?
Yeah.
See, Durango, it's good because it's so small that you like. I mean, there's only 12 or maybe 15 comedians, and so you get good showcase spots. Like we were doing this place called the Strater Theater with like 300 plus seats. There was like 200 people, and we were like 6 months in.
Yeah.
And so, like being in Durango, you're like, wow, I'm the best comedian ever. Like this is great.
You might have also struggled in that area because you might have been naturally better than me in the beginning.
Oh.
my first open mic set was so terrible. I learned right away that there was so many things not to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, like going back on old open mic videos or recordings, it's still very cringeworthy.
It's kind of, I am interested now that I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but I feel like I'm getting better, you know, maybe approaching mediocre at comedy. But when I watch comics at open mics that are clearly brand new, and to remember being that bad, like not in like a mean way, but they're terrible. They're objectively terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember being that terrible, and it kind of feels good.
To be better? Oh, hell yeah.
To be like, oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
that's really not good.
No, I mean, it's not, you know, and it's not like malicious or anything. You're just like, wow, like it's positive for you. You're like, wow, exactly. I'm not total dog shit. Yeah, I mean, and I think you've probably experienced this too. Like being in comedy for 2 years, it's like you can, like right when somebody goes up to the stage, you can kind of gauge how long they've been doing it. Because like if you see somebody, it's like one of their first 5 sets, you can tell that it's just so green.
Yeah. That was a good mic though. We both got to do, you know, longer sets, stretch a little bit, and there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Megan and Laura running a heck of a mic.
Yeah, that's a good mic.
That's good. And the owners are so nice.
Yeah, they're very nice. And Boba Tea's good.
So go shop at T Street. Colorado and Mississippi, I think.
Yeah.
Not sure. Kind of near the Home Depot on Colorado Boulevard.
I like how Boba Tea, Boba has like the consistency of boogers, but like good boogers.
You need a bit.
Boba
boogers.
I was gonna say
alliteration right there.
I was gonna say it, but
you can't say it at that mic. Denigrate the product.
That's true.
That they're selling. But
I'm saying it's good boogers. Like good boogers.
Yeah. So let's talk about going to New Talent Night.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. This is gonna be the 3rd or 4th time that I've like seriously watched New Talent Night to kind of do what we were just talking about analyzing open micers. In this case, open micers who are worse and better than me. Like what I'm trying to do selfishly is extract information that I can use in my own comedy by seeing bad habits and good habits, things that don't work and things that work well. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, it's always a good show at Comedy Works. I don't think I've ever seen anyone bomb super hard.
Yeah, there are rumors that Kelsey Cook will be on the lineup tonight.
Oh, really?
She is pseudo famous. She's had late night sets.
Nice.
We'll post a link to something in the show notes. I don't know if we'll see her though, because I usually stay until the notes.
Right.
And then we'll boogie over to Scruffy's from there. So yeah, let's talk more about your. I'm trying to think of like one of your jokes. What's one of your jokes you're trying to work on?
Jokes that I'm trying to work on. There's like a lot of jokes. I have a lot of jokes that I'm like comfortable doing that I'm working through. But then like a joke that I've been trying to work on for like 9 months is talking about how like I pick it up intermittently. It's talking about how I don't think certain people deserve to take ecstasy, like the drug, because certain people don't deserve to feel that good. Just like high schoolers and shit. It's like you don't deserve to have those endorphins because you've never done anything. It's like a premise, but I can't find. I've like written it like twice or 3 times, and I like stayed out a bunch of facts, but I can't find a punchline, which is frustrating. But
yeah, I hear that. So what do? Have you tried physically writing on a piece of paper?
Yeah, so I've done that. I've done it a few times. What I usually do if a joke's not working is I list out just like things associated with that topic in just a list, and they don't have to be funny. I just like write them all out and see what comes up. And I've tried doing it with that. I think, I mean, if I just like, come at it from a different angle, I feel like,
Yeah, also sleeping on it seems to help.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you write all that stuff out, and then like a day or 2 later, you're in line at the grocery store, and something will come to you. Or at least that's how it works for me.
Oh yeah. You know what's actually, it's kind of a weird term, but what's actually helped me a lot in finding what I think is funny is like I take mushrooms, like psychedelic mushrooms,
Sure.
and like I've had 2 or 3 trips where like I turn off my phone and I get more introspective, and I'll tell jokes like to myself, and it's really helped me find. It's kind of a weird. It's almost like a part of me that's like not usually at the surface, and so I kind of like dig deeper and then just start talking because it's more of an innocent perspective, and that's helped a lot. Like some of my like showcase jokes that I use all the time, I thought of on mushrooms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Try PCP next. I'm just kidding.
Crank it up. Have you tried combining the ecstasy bit with an unrelated topic?
Oh no, I haven't actually.
Like, I don't want to like spoil somebody's joke, but like a very good example, somebody who's an excellent joke writer has a joke about pubic hair and hotels. Not like pubic hair being in hotels, but how like people's pubic hair, and it's like a metaphor kind of joke, are like different hotel chains.
Oh yeah.
Like on the surface, there's no relationship between hotels and pubic hair, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
The way it all comes together. So maybe, you know, the happiness and ecstasy and not having life experience, and then you relate that to, I don't know, jungle rodents or you know, something completely random.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe there's something there you can dig around and look for.
Yeah, I've never thought of that, of combining like a different aspect. I've had that thing though where you have two similar jokes that you wrote at different times, and then you're like, oh shit, like these can fit together perfectly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah. So we've seen a couple sets that we're going to see at New Talent Night. Should we talk about Jeff Stanek?
Jeff Stanek, David Leipzig, Josh Grambo.
Yeah. Did you happen to watch Josh's body language after his set? He was really bumming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt bad for him. I almost wanted to like go give him a little pick-me-up speech, which I might do when we get to Comedy Works.
Yeah.
But and I have no, who knows? Like maybe he read something on his phone and it was unrelated. But
yeah,
he did seem to kind of leave the stage with not a ton of confidence. Which
that's rough, especially right before your New Talent. I did New Talent, I think a month ago, and the last mic I did before New Talent was Lion's Lair.
Oh, brutal.
It was like I was just running through my New Talent set to nobody, and I was like, damn it, this is brutal.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, I think Jeff will do really well.
Yeah, he's refined it really well.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've heard it for the past week. Because like we do open mics in my basement all the time because I have that sound system, and it's just fucking.
Do you when you drive around, do you talk out loud and tell jokes?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I do that as well. Which surprises me. I would not have guessed that going into comedy. It's actually very zen-like. Like I really enjoy driving around and just talking to myself.
Yeah. But you look like an unhinged person to everybody else.
Well, I keep my hands down by my hands, so you know. No, sometimes when I really am getting into it, people will look at me.
You're like in a Walmart parking lot.
And it's not so bad because, you know, I just pretend like I'm talking to the Bluetooth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good, especially if I didn't write anything out for Mike and I'm just like driving there, I can just, you know, go over what I want to say in my head.
Yeah. We're heading into downtown Denver right now. We're going by the Pepsi Center. We drove by Mile High, the football stadium, a few minutes ago. And I think for the rest of the night, we're in downtown. We've been kind of in the burbs. The Comedy Works is walking distance when it's not freezing cold from Scruffy Murphy's, where we're going afterwards. And it's a little bit of a drive to the goods. Oh, you know what? Mutiny isn't in downtown Denver.
It's South Broadway.
Yeah. And then we'll be back in downtownish for Kinga's at the end of the night. What are you looking for at New Talent Night?
I'm really there to support Jeff, support David. You know, obviously take notes, see, like every time you watch stand-up, you're just, you know, you're thinking.
Do you watch a lot of stand-up?
Yeah.
Like live or?
No, I actually saw Louis C.K. Last Thursday.
In Denver?
In Denver.
Oh, I missed that.
It was a great show.
You buy your ticket?
I bought my ticket.
Full price or?
my friend bought it 2 months ago.
Okay, so
it was
probably
like
full price.
Yeah, it was like 47.
I read an article. There was a reporter who wrote a story about seeing Louis in maybe Cincinnati, and he got his ticket for like $4 on Flash tickets or something when these like reseller websites that just they're like trying to fill the seats.
Right.
Basically. And I remember seeing that Louis was coming to Denver. That's funny. I didn't hear anybody mention that at a mic or
Yeah, it was
anything.
very low key. I saw.
How was it? I saw him like a year ago. I mean, he might be a monster. We'll leave that in the equation.
You know, I
he's
saw
a very funny guy.
Very funny. I
Very
saw
talented.
Comedy Works people there, obviously unnamed.
Okay.
But you know, there's a lot of people supporting him. But it was a great show. He had Joe List. Do you know Joe List?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was his opener, and then Annie, like Lengthway or something. She's a LA comedian. She also did really well. Both of them did 15 minutes, and then he did like an hour. It was a great show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. But yeah. It's, like just watching any stand-up. I like to watch professional stand-up, obviously, but it's also kind of entertaining to watch like mid-level stand-up or like amateur stand-up, because there's a lot of those on YouTube, and just kind of pick out, just be like, okay, you know, this punchline doesn't make sense, or like should have done this, shorter premise, whatever. Just kind of analyzing it.
Yeah. Huh. That's great.
Also, there's a subreddit called r/. You go on Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a subreddit called r/sitdown, which is like the worst stand-up sets ever.
Oh, I haven't been to that.
Yeah, you should. It's like, it's cringe stand-up, and that, you know, if I'm in the mood, I'll watch people bomb.
Jeez, I don't think I have the patience for that. That's what I do at open mics, like
just watch
5
people.
nights a week.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
But
I don't really need to do it.
r/sitdown's like exceptional cringe.
It's really
It's
bad.
like high,
I feel like
top shelf.
Well, I'll
cringe.
have to watch it. I feel like I see that every once in a while.
Yeah, you see it in real life at Denver open mics all the time. But
all right, here comes the game of trying to find a parking spot. There's like, we got about 2 blocks. If we don't find a spot, I'll park in the garage.
yeah. 16th Street, always packed.
Boy. Speaking of Louis C.K., he is in my book, Not Good Yet, which if you're interested in stand-up comedy, you should have a copy. If you are starving, send me a note. And I'll see if I can get you some kind of free copy of it.
They sell
Just
that.
to help comedians.
They sell the book at Mutiny, right?
They sell it at Mutiny, and I recently got a reorder from Tattered Cover, which is very
nice.
exciting, and a check from Tattered Cover, which is
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool. Always fun. Money coming in instead of out.
How long did it take you to write that book?
Not as long as you would think.
Really?
Interesting question. I wrote like 80% of it in about 2 weeks.
Really? Wow.
Like the overall, it took like maybe 2 months total. But I'm like, ever since college, I've been very good at, you know, cramming.
Cramming.
You know, like focusing intensely.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like easier that way. Like even professionally, like if I can have everything in my short-term memory, and here's a pro tip: do not touch the metal on this machine if you come into the Writer Square parking garage, because it shocks like a mofo. It really hurts. It's just easier to like go to sleep exhausted, wake up 6 hours later, and start working immediately because you have everything in your head and you're not distracted by other stuff.
Right.
I don't know. It works for me. It's not for everybody, but it works for me. I am thinking about my 2-year anniversary will be June 25th. So,
Oh, nice.
and I'm thinking about writing a second book about the first 2 years.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm kind of like last year. I thought I'd be writing by now, just getting some chapters done, and I've been kind of lazy about it. I'm kind of scared. I think is the reality.
Start cramming.
Yeah. Well, I'm not ready to cram. I can't cram until the 2 years is done, because I won't have all the content.
Oh, yeah,
I won't have lived it all. But I keep having these like really cool things that I'm excited to share the stories of, like the Hannibal Buress show last night was super interesting, and shows I've started running, and shows I've tried to run and have not gone, like things that have also gone horribly wrong.
Right. Because that's valuable.
Which is just as fun.
Yeah.
Maybe even more fun for the reader than the things that go well. Okay, we're across the street from Comedy Works. We made it. and we'll see you after this. We're not performing. We're just here to support and observe.
Observe.
All right.
Fantastic.
Bye. Hey guys, how's it going?
Enjoy the bit of
We
syrup.
are.
I probably had a
sorry
bowl
about
of syrup.
that. We are at a Comedy Works.
Out of Comedy Works.
At a Comedy Works. Good show tonight.
Oh, fucking all the newbies crushed.
Yeah, the newbies were great. There's even some sea people I've never seen before that were really good.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody who had a late night credit, Kelsey Cook, who we talked about. She was there, and I think I've seen her before, actually, now that I saw her set. I feel like I saw her at the South Club. I'm gonna have to look at my notes. Because I recognize some of those jokes, and I don't know how else I would know those jokes.
Yeah, Comedy Works is crazy because, like, you'll get people who are that level, just like, you know, hanging out in the green room.
Yeah. Salma Zaki, who recently did the Vail Comedy Show, had a special taping spot for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She crushed.
Absolutely crushed. I was going to message her.
It's pretty cool. We are going, by the way, 0.6 miles. And it's going to take us 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
And most of that is going to be getting out of this parking garage. So Jacob.
Yes.
You run an open mic.
Run an open mic called...
Why don't you tell us about running an open mic?
It is, it's called Polycarbonate at Carbon Cafe on Platt Street in Lowhigh. Starts at 5, sign up at 5:30, starts at 6. You know, we're just trying to get it off the ground. It's a good open mic. Getting heckled by the machine. I'm just kidding. No, it's a good open mic. It's more of a workshop type deal. Just because of the amount of people that have showed up. But yeah, I mean,
what's hard about running an open mic?
It's hard about running an open mic. Well, I've run open mics before where the list is huge and people they come up to you. They're like, "Hey."
We're in Durango or in Denver?
In Denver and Durango. I hosted Ironton twice with Josh Emerson as a co-host. And you know, sometimes it's just there's so many comics. People come up and they're like, "Oh, you know, my grandma died or whatever."
Right. Like
Can
we're
I
about
get
to
up?
do with Scruffy.
Yeah, like exactly. But
shout out to Derek Walton.
Huge shout out to
who is killing
whip
the open mic hosting.
He is
role like unbelievable. What a role model for running an open mic.
His like honestly like Scruffy's can get kind of brutal, but he's like a shining beacon of positivity.
Yeah, he's it's unbelievable. He does such a good job. That mic was it was not good.
Oh, really?
A year ago.
I didn't know that.
He's like a year, I think this is a year and a week or a year and 2 weeks he's been doing it. And it wasn't like terrible, but it was like some of the other mics where there's, you know, 5 or 6 comics, never a crowd.
Yeah.
Just comics and, you know, no energy and people just reciting material with no crowd reaction.
Yeah.
He does a really good job encouraging everybody. And yeah,
it's very admirable. He gets up on stage, there's like 4 at the beginning of the mic, there's like 4 disinterested comics, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go, come on."
Yeah,
so it's respectable.
Yeah. How did you get your open mic started? How did you find a venue?
We so Josh Emerson and I, we just went to a bunch of different places. The good thing, so I bought a sound system. It's a good sound system. It's definitely decent, and so you can do big shows with it. And we had that added value of having our own sound system, so we could reach out to venues that didn't have it. So we could have, you know, a better negotiating price, things like that. And so we just settled on Polycarbonate.
Nice.
It's fun so far. We might switch it. Depends.
Switch time or switch location?
Switch location.
Okay.
Because I think one of the most important things for an open mic is to have a venue that's super 100% on board.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of lukewarm about it, but you know, it's working for now.
Okay.
Yeah, the venue that we have for the brunch show that's a super great venue. The owner's like really into live entertainment.
What's that venue called?
It's literally called Dare. It's like THERE ...
Okay.
It's just kind of a weird name, but you know, it's a really good venue. We've done 2 brunch shows so far. Next one is March 14th, so excited for that. I'm going to be hosting. Got Anthony Crawford headlining. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious. March 14th, 2020. For
March
those of
14th,
you
2020.
watching this after Jacob Jonas's first Conan set in, what, 2024?
2022 is my goal.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Be remarkable.
Would be. All right, we are approaching Scruffy's. Let's quick goals, quick thoughts.
Don't eat more than 2 plates of shit. So.
Okay, I'm gonna do a pillow joke, and I did tell it on January 7th at Scruffy's, thanks to my notes research. Hopefully that's been about 6 weeks. Hopefully that's enough separation. And yeah, we'll be back in just a little bit. Yep.
Web series viewers are seeing a crowded and dark open mic at Irish Snug. Derek Walton, barely visible, overseeing things.
He left. So
We're recording.
yeah.
What do you think?
Oh,
We're on. We just finished Scruffy's. We're trying to figure out. What do you think? You make a call. Goods or Mutiny?
I would say Mutiny, honestly, because Goods
Okay.
is all the way up Colfax, and it's just I feel like it's probably over. There's 2 comics when Ethan left, which was maybe 30 minutes ago.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, a soldier has fallen.
trying to do 6 mics, but
5 it will be, perhaps.
it's still
We'll for sure make 5.
yeah,
at this
for sure
point.
make 5.
Although I need to eat.
Yeah,
I need to figure that out. Anyways, this is the life of open mic comedy. We just did Scruffy Murphy's. Derek, as usual, great energy.
Derek Walton, homie, for
Doing
putting
great
this
stuff.
up.
What a great hang too. Like so many comics.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Where are we going? Sorry.
yeah. No,
I forgot to update everybody. So we are going to Mutiny?
yeah, I'd say go to Mutiny,
All
just so we can be timely. Yeah, I mean Scruffy's is a good. That's Scruffy's. Even though it's kind of a low energy room, it's a good room to test out material, and it's like a 50-50. You might get a response.
Yeah.
So it's not a total waste of time. It's,
All right. We got, sorry for the, here's
no, you're good.
breaking news. Mutiny Information Cafe, 11-minute drive, 2.7 miles away. Heading to the South Broadway neighborhood. Navigating. Yeah, dude, I am still fresh material.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
I'm cracking. I cracked 20 minutes now,
Damn.
but I'm definitely not gonna get to 40. I will get to high 20s.
Let me see.
Not quite 30.
I've voice
What I'll
recorded all
do.
my sets so far.
I was saving my best 5 minutes for the goods, so I wonder where I'll do that now. If I'll even do it. What if I did 30 minutes of material without doing my best 5 minutes?
Wow.
That'd be something, I guess.
I'm pushing 6 minutes at T Street, 4 minutes at Breakfast King, 4 minutes at Scruffy's. 14 minutes.
Okay, nice.
Or
nice.
15 minutes.
Okay.
Not bad.
Let's talk about comedy posters.
Oh yeah. So the thing with Deadroom is that I'm the graphic designer for it, and I just do stuff for posters on Photoshop. And I've been an artist since I was a kid, so I take a lot of pride and enjoy making posters. But some comedy posters are just so it's not just like ones in the Denver scene. I feel like comedy posters in general are just very hacky and just like. I don't know. I just recently joined a Facebook group called Bad Comedy Posters.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'll invite you.
Hilarious.
It's fucking.
I'm not on Facebook. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
it'll work. You could text me a picture or something.
Text
You know
me a
what?
picture.
Do you have passenger pigeons?
Mm-mm.
If you could print some out, roll them up.
Perfect.
Even, or smoke signals even.
Yeah, or if
Take
you-
a while through binary. But
I don't know if
we'll
you
get it.
fax
If they know
machines.
JPEG, the compression algorithm, if they can.
Send you a handwritten letter describing a bad
Yeah,
comedy
or a pencil
poster.
sketch. Just, a charcoal drawing would
Yeah,
be
exactly.
terrific. Yeah. Guys, I'm hip. I'm modern. I'm up to date. Don't worry.
You got the GoPro. That's pretty hip and modern.
I do. You're inside the actor's studio now, everybody.
Yeah.
It's director's cut. Okay, so anyways, posters.
Do
Okay,
you-
give me an example of a bad poster and an example of a good poster. But ask
So,
that question first.
I'm
I
not
feel like
sure-
that was a good question. you
That
were
is a
about to
really
ask.
good question.
No, what were you about to ask me?
Oh,
gonna say.
do you do the comedy posters for your shows in?
Oh, interesting.
Summit County?
I do them myself. I have
nice.
not been an artist since I was a kid. I am not the graphic designer for Deadroom. I'm kind of proud of them. Some of them are okay.
Uh-huh.
I've made do, some of them are, I kind of mail it in. Every once in a while I get frustrated,
Uh-huh.
like things aren't lining up quite right, and I got like a million layers, and I can't get the thing, and I'm just like, I give up.
Do you use
Like I mask, do you know what masking is?
Yeah.
And masking just, it's too much for me. It blows my little brain. And sometimes like the mask isn't working right, and I like, I'm trying to move the face to make it centered in the circle, but now the whole thing is moving. I just like, I can't, it kills me because it's off by like 8 degrees. Like it's rotated not perfectly.
And nobody
I have to
else.
hang like 6 of these posters around Vail and put them online and share them with the venue so they can get them onto Facebook, and I'm just like, forget it, I give up.
Do you use Photoshop?
I use Pixelmator Pro.
Oh, nice.
It's like poor man's Photoshop. I wish I
nice.
had Photoshop because I think the masking stuff that I struggle with would be a little easier.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay a monthly fee.
Yeah, exactly.
I did hear through the grapevine that the esteemed Zach Moss once commented online positively about one of my posters.
Oh, wow.
Which is a hilarious thing to me that general idea that people know who I am and what I'm doing through social media, even though I myself am not on social media, just boggles my mind. Every once in a while somebody will come up to me and tell me something that there's no way they could have known through me.
Right.
They only know it by proxy through somebody else who shared something
On Facebook.
It just cracks me up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny.
I
I feel like it's a life hack. You don't need to be on Facebook. If you do things that are notable enough and other people are on Facebook, people will find out eventually. This is my thesis. I'm testing this thesis. We'll see
You're a live guinea pig.
if I get anywhere.
Have
in
you
comedy.
ever had Facebook?
Never in my whole
Never.
life.
Wow.
So some people have been pretty insistent that I have to be on it for comedy, and I'm just like, hey, I've never. It's not like it's not like I'm on it part-time. I just don't want to be on it for comedy. I've never ever
Right.
been on it. So yeah, there's a whole chapter about it in my book, Not Good Yet.
Oh, okay.
It's called I think the title is Not on Facebook. It's either that or Mark Masters is not on Facebook.
Not on Facebook.
And I talk about it a little bit more. I'm definitely, if I do write the second book, I will definitely explore that a lot more because it's become more relevant. My thesis back then, the first book is about my first 6 months in comedy, and I still hold. I think this is true. In your first 6 months, it doesn't matter. Like you're not trying to, if you're gonna try and get booked in like Los Angeles or Idaho through Facebook, you're just bothering people that don't want to be bothered.
Right.
So now I'm a year and a half to 2 years in. I don't know. There've definitely been opportunities I've probably missed because I didn't have Facebook. But I've also made different connections that, sometimes people are like, I don't want to give you my phone number or email.
Right.
But sometimes people do, and then I feel like a stronger
Yeah, it's more
connection.
more intimate connection because it was face to face.
That has surprised me how young people feel about sharing their email address.
Like it's private.
Yeah, like it's their social security number or something, which I totally respect. Like it's a different generation, but for me, it's not, email something you just bandy about and give to anybody pretty much. I mean, not companies that are going to spam you, but to
Right.
other humans, sure. But some young comics have been like, whoa, what? Like, my mom doesn't even have my email. Like, I only use my email for like 3 things, like my utility bill and whatever.
No.
Why would I ever communicate over email?
This is strictly my Pornhub account. I
Yeah.
will not give this to you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I guess Facebook, because like whenever, like me being a younger comic, whenever I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, what's your Facebook or what's your Instagram or whatever. Yeah, and then you add them. And it's more streamlined, but it's less intimate, it's less personal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could have a big moment of regret a few years from now when I don't have all those connections through social media. But
Yeah, but there's
for
like
now, I'm doing okay, and I create my own stage time by
Right.
running my own shows, and I get to know people through that.
Yeah.
It's occasionally inconvenient, but whatever.
Yeah,
A lot of people have said they're jealous.
what, that you don't have Facebook?
Yeah, that I'm not on it. I don't have to.
It's definitely good for your mental health.
Yeah,
I'll say
see
that.
all the drama. That I love. Every once in a while, I'll overhear a snippet of some kind of local drama. That my favorite is when you know, people are talking about something like it's been going on for 6 months. And this is the first I've ever heard anything about it. I'm like, I am so lucky to not have to deal.
That's what I could send you on passenger pigeons. I could just send
just
screenshots.
Beefs. Yeah,
screenshots of drama.
Send me the beef of the week.
Yeah.
No, I don't care at all. But bad comedy posters, maybe.
Yeah. No, that's.
Yeah. So what makes, like, give me an example of a bad.
I think like for me, simplicity is definitely the biggest thing, because there's comedy posters where it's like from the top to the bottom, there's just words and information that are just mismatched together, and it's like really corny.
Are you describing my posters? Because that sounds a lot.
I don't think I've ever seen your posters. And it's like, I get it. Like, I make posters, so you have to put the time, you have to put the location, you have to put the comics, but just doing it in a more concise fashion and more clean.
The posters I really like are the ones that were clearly made by an artist.
Yeah.
Like they're a hand drawing or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like I have rock and roll posters like hung up in my house that I bought over the years, and they're like that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't need like everybody's name and in some font. Like, I want some original artwork.
Right.
That's clever or cute.
Yeah, Alec Flynn had a show called what was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. He just thought of it, and it was like a really good show. And then Kira, I forgot her last name, Kira McLaughlin? Yeah, she did the artwork for the poster, and it looks really good.
Nice.
It's like professionally made.
Sweet. Jeff Tice, another local guy who is a killer artist. Look at this.
Yeah, it's primo.
Yeah, Rockstar Parking. Good thing we came here. Ooh, and I can get a slice of pizza right down the street.
Yeah.
Not the best slice in Denver, but it'll take it. All right, we need some quick goals and thoughts.
Oh yeah, quick goals.
We're gonna get about 5 to 7 maybe.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
Yeah, we might wait for a long time.
I'd say for me, a goal is to do crowd work.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Especially for Mutiny.
Yeah. I don't know. Where's my... Let me look at this real quick.
See what I had penciled in previously. I'm gonna tell a story and a very old joke. I don't know if that will go well.
We'll see. Mutiny's a weird room.
It's true.
But we'll see. And why don't we, I'll show you some of my artwork. You show me some of your artwork and some bad artwork.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it when we get back.
Cool.
All right, so what do we have left tonight? We're going to go into Mutiny. When we're at a Mutiny, that'll be 4 mics.
4 mics, and then Kinga's.
Go close it out at Kinga's. And I won't be so hangry when I get back on camera. I don't know if that's showing. But, all right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Web viewers are seeing Mutiny Information Cafe, Jose McCall, Eric Shee on the mic.
Nice.
Right when it started.
There we go. Hey, we're back. Mic number 4, notched. I'm at 28 minutes.
28 minutes?
28 minutes. Quick time check. I realize you guys have no idea what time it is. It's Mark is tired. Mark is tired. It's 11:46 p.m. I don't know. We were there, what, a couple hours? Hour and a half? What time did we get there? We left Scruffy's around a little after 10.
Yeah,
right around 10. Where are we going now? We're going to
Kinga's.
Kinga's. All right, let me plug that in.
I'm on like my 7th cup of coffee. I just had a cup of coffee.
This is what it's like to work 8 hours, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's see.
I know how to get there. Right.
Yeah, I know. But I like to tell the people.
Yeah, the distance.
Oh, we cannot connect right now. Hold on. Let's try again. Here we go. One more shot. You did pretty well there.
Yeah.
That was hot room for you.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. That was great. All right, let's plug in the old Kinga's. Let's see what's happening. So we are almost for sure. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
I think with a Y.
Almost for sure gonna get in 5 mics in one night. Not bad, Denver, Colorado. Not too shabby.
Not bad.
What say you, Chicago, LA, New York City? All right, we're going 8 minutes, 2.8 miles. We will be there before midnight, but we will not leave until tomorrow.
Yeah. Late night, Mike?
You know, we forgot to look at posters.
Oh, that's
not do
right.
that.
Yeah.
Did not do that. Oh well.
Yeah, that's fine.
What else is there to show running and open mic stuff?
Oh man.
How about promotion?
Promotion's huge. We've learned specifically, like my production company, we've learned mostly about promoting for an actual showcase. Promoting for a mic is just, you know, doing a poster for comics and posting it on Facebook page or whatever. But promotion for an actual show, there's a lot that goes in. I mean, you probably know with Aspen and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like reaching out, finding different mediums to reach people at. Like we actually just sold two tickets on TripAdvisor.
Huh, no way. I didn't know you could sell tickets through TripAdvisor.
They don't have like a comedy section, so we just put, it was like like they have like pre-made activities that your activity is going to be.
Sorry, pause that thought.
Yeah.
World famous Voodoo Donuts right here, Denver's second location. We're going to drive right by the other location, actually. We're going from one Voodoo Donuts to the other Voodoo Donuts right now. All right, sorry, anyways.
Yeah, TripAdvisor, they don't have a comedy section, so we just put our event as a tour of the Eiffel Tower. But people found out, so.
And you can sell for money tickets, or they're free tickets?
No, they're for money. You can just put the Eventbrite thing.
Oh, I see. It's like a referral.
Right.
To Eventbrite. Okay, cool.
I've also heard Meetup. The app Meetup is good.
Yeah. Oren uses that quite a bit.
Oh, I didn't
Irish
know.
Rover, Showcase of the Mondays, and Harrison Garcia uses that for his Jagged Mountain show.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
It's pretty effective.
Yeah, Meetup, you gotta pay.
Oh, really?
But you know, everything you gotta pay for.
Right.
I think it's like $100 a year or something like that to start a group, and then. Yeah, it's interesting.
And Rover is one of the best attended open mics by non-comedians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a great
hot
room. Great room. Yeah, my secret to promoting shows is to go far enough away from Denver that the audiences are actually desperate to attend the shows.
Yeah,
and they're
that's true.
incredible audiences. They're very generous and just good, and come out in inclement weather and friendly, and so we'll see how my new Parker show. Parker's like a suburb of Denver, so that's the closest I've been to Denver with a regular show. We'll see how that works, but I have data to show that they're thirsty for a comedy out in Parker.
Yeah.
So
it's small towns. Just they really do love comedy. I did Cortez, Colorado, which is like an hour away from Durango.
Okay.
And I mean, people, they come out, they laugh, and then afterwards, like my friend Josh like signed a purse. We got a picture taken of us on a flip phone.
nice.
It is, yeah.
They have phones in Cortez.
Yeah. It's,
Did not know that.
Motorola.
Amazing. Good for them.
Good for them.
No service.
No service, but they can play the flip phone games.
Yeah. Exciting. Oh boy. I don't know if it shows, but I think I mentioned I'm tired. This is open mic comedy, everybody. We got to get that stage time.
Gotta get the stage
I'm
time.
gonna get those 5 mics. This is gonna be rough on me.
Oh, Kinga's?
Yeah, because it's gonna be a long wait,
Oh, I love
and
Kinga's.
it's just there's nowhere good to sit.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like Kinga's might be a warm venue. I was freezing cold in Mutiny.
Yeah.
Just to double down on being an old guy. Tired and cold. No hot tea that I could find. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Couldn't find any spare mittens. I did find a love note while I was waiting to go up, which was fun, and I riffed on it at the beginning of my set.
A love note to you? Or?
No, it was were you not there? Did
No,
you skip my set?
No,
You
I got the
son of a
second
bitch?
half of your set.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
the second
So,
half.
anyways, I thought I had dropped something on the floor, and I saw a piece of paper, and so I went underneath this bench and pulled it out. It was a little teeny tiny piece of paper that said, "Meet me up near the front. You're cute."
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. And somebody apparently read that note or never received it, and then dropped it underneath the bench. So I don't think it was well received.
Yeah.
But there was a couple in the audience that really liked that little story that I told, and I gave it to the guy. I
Oh,
said,
nice.
Give that to your lady.
Was she
And,
right
They
there?
loved it. She could see. I didn't know she was listening, but she was eavesdropping.
Oh.
And when I turned around, and she made eye contact and smiled. She thought it was cute.
Mark Masters matchmaker.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
They were really attentive.
Yeah, Mutiny.
unusually attentive for
Yeah.
Mutiny.
Yeah. How do you like Mutiny, like relative to other open mics?
I love Jose.
Yeah,
Jose McCall, who, by the way, crushed a new talent night tonight and finished, boom, right when the light came.
Yeah.
Like 180 seconds, or I don't know, 4 minutes maybe,
Yeah,
240 seconds, boom, to the second,
Right.
crushing the whole time.
I saw him look at the light,
Yeah.
and then he was like, no. He was like, it might have been another joke, but
Yeah.
it was just very
It was
professional.
very, very impressive. So I love how he hosts.
Mm-hmm.
I like the vibe. Like, I love books. I like reading. I like the bookstore. They support my book, so I love Jim, the owner,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole stuff that's going on there. There's all the positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The negative stuff, it's a late mic. We've covered that I'm an old, and the later mic's not my favorite. It tends to take a long time to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because sets run long, partly because a lot of comics go. That is painful, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say my average wait time to get up is pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
At Mutiny, which is kind of brutal.
Yeah.
And then the payoff is questionable. Sometimes you get a night like tonight and there's 4 to 5 audience members, and that's pretty exciting. And other times it's like 2 comics and one of them is asleep and the other one's buried in their phone.
Yeah,
so really,
exactly.
you might as well just be in your living room.
Yeah.
So I have for sure, it's not that common that I go to a mic and just leave,
Mhm.
but I've definitely done it in Mutiny.
Yeah.
Like, show up, look at the list, and just do the math in my head, and I'm like, I
Right.
should just get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the first Mutiny set that I ever do to nobody, because that has to be coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
But
Or somebody who takes off their shirt in the middle of your set. That's a fun first.
that happened to you?
Yeah.
What?
Drugs, something.
Oh,
Guy was
interesting.
out of his mind. Yeah, I like it, but it needs to be the right situation.
Right. Yeah, I like Mutiny just because it's at least it's quiet. You know, there's some open mics where nobody's listening and it's also loud.
Yeah.
So that's good because you can hear yourself talk. It's like, you know, you can run through stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love Tuesdays. Like, as much as I'm moaning about it being late,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get 5 mics in, and I feel like I can take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
how I feel.
I can write or whatever, focus on other parts of my life, and that feels good. Kind of like this guy
Yeah.
is gonna feel good when somebody runs over him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I get the majority of my mics in at the beginning of the week. Like, I mean, when the Goods was on Monday, I would do Rover, Goods, Layer, and then Scruffy's Mutiny Kingas. So that's like 6 mics in 2 days.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, my new thing is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are my nights.
How-
And
how-
recently,
How many
Monday,
mics do you
Tuesdays.
hit usually every week, like on average?
I did 214 last year,
Oh shit.
so that's 50. That's 4 a week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's just
Roughly.
over 4
You
a
guys
week.
do the math at home, but
Yeah.
around 4 a week. But you know, sometimes I go on vacation for a week and do 0 mics, or
Right.
travel for work or something, and or even travel to do comedy, and it's way less efficient.
Right.
Maybe do a mic a night if I'm lucky. I would say this year, what are we, like 6 weeks into the year?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've done 40 mics already, so
Wow.
I'm at a higher average, but I know that's gonna nosedive.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to front load the beginning of the year. I think I have it written down somewhere, but I think my goal is 200 mics this year,
That's not
which
not a
is,
bad goal.
you know, if I hit exactly 200, it would be less than last year.
Yeah.
I would really like to get to a point where I don't feel like I need to go to mics all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I do feel like I get stuff out of it,
Mhm.
and I'm getting better. But I would like to feel good enough. How am I going to do this? That I don't need to go to mics all the time. Like, I see
Yeah.
people that maybe, like if I was getting booked on a lot of showcases, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
Uh-huh.
Is this a spot?
I don't
Can't
think.
tell. There's a meter right there.
But I think there's a sign right there. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the spot. You can always park. I usually park in the post office parking lot.
Like to sheet, park here, but that's not gonna happen. We should just rename this podcast Parking with Mark. Parallel parking, a Subaru. Here we go. Here's a great spot. We're just doing U-turns around Denver.
Do you count the amount of, like, every open mic that you do you make a tally, carve it in your wall?
I do. I have a spreadsheet.
Oh, nice.
That so last year, actually, let's end it on a cliffhanger. We'll talk about the spreadsheet when we come back. Hey guys, we're going into Kinga's 5th and final mic of the night. We'll be back in a moment.
Kinga's.
Hey there, podcast listeners. Right now, web series viewers are seeing us walk into Kinga's, Colfax Avenue, Zeke Herrera, Louis Jesse Ricardo Martinez making an appearance, and then finally Jacob Jonas at the mic. It's the end of a long night.
All right, we're back. Hey, 5 mics. Holy cow!
5 mics.
I want to say I'm at like 34 minutes and more than 30 seconds, which I would round up to 35, which I would then round up to 40. So,
I got
34 plus minutes.
Let me see. I have 14, 20.
We ended on a cliffhanger, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Let me. So, when I started, I kept a notebook, all my stage appearances, and then I started putting it into a spreadsheet. And then about a year in, I fell hopelessly behind, like 6 months behind updating the spreadsheet. And then I finally bit the bullet, and it took me like an entire day to update the spreadsheet. And so for 2020, my new thing is I skip the notebook, I go direct into the spreadsheet. And so like sometimes I'll do it on my phone at the mic, and I just enter in like how many minutes, where it was, what kind of stage time it was, like open mic versus showcase or whatever. And I put in the jokes. That's new in 2020 as well. So that's how I knew earlier that I had done the pillow bit at Scruffy Murphy's on January 7th. Super convenient, if you can keep up. And tonight, of the 5 mics, I entered the first 2 mics, but have not entered the next 3 mics yet. And I'm already bummed that I'm behind. Like, when am I gonna catch up? Because then once I fall behind, like I gotta listen to the recording to remind myself what jokes I did, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, all right, let's summarize. How'd you do on your 5 mics?
5 mics. I did 30 minutes of material. 24 minutes of material.
24, that's solid.
Yeah, solid. Didn't do well at Kinga's, but whatever.
Nah, you did fine.
Nah, it's all right. I mean, it's kind of
got up quickly, which was a surprise.
Yeah, that's
surprise. Great. Low volume turnout of comics. Which was a pleasant surprise.
It's good that you were doing new material, because like you did new material pretty much every open mic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it. I never repeated a joke.
Right, never repeated.
Very proud.
Yeah, I did the same opening joke for all 5 mics, and it feels weird to do one joke 5 times.
Yeah.
It was like a new joke.
I love that premise, though. It's hilarious.
Damn,
it's really good.
Yeah, it's an old premise that I just brought back up.
Yeah. All right. So what did you learn tonight?
Learned that in the 8th hour of comedy, kind of gets a bit, tiring. But I don't know. It's cool to me that I can go to 5 mics and hash out material 5 times over in the process of 8 hours. Is that a bunny?
There's a bunny. Decided to stop in the middle of the road.
I think he can go forward.
I think he's afraid of me. I'll turn off my lights. No? Come on, bunny. Do you guys want to see this live? We're gonna.
Just kidding. We're gonna murder a bunny. That would be a great night. That would be a great ending.
Yeah, great way to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a fun time. We got to see some pro comics, some amateur comics.
I don't think I saw anyone bomb super hard tonight.
Oh, the guy before me at Kinga's.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He did over 5 minutes, not a single joke.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, he repeated the words, not going to say anything funny here, guys.
I hate that so much.
Oh, are you kidding me? I was having such a chill, nice night. And then people are like getting up and leaving. And I'm like, finish.
Yeah.
Will you finish, please? He never told a single joke.
And then turn left.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. I hate that.
That was frustrating. I would consider that a bomb.
Yeah,
for sure. But
and then just right here is the.
Stop here.
Yeah, you can stop here.
Okay, cool, man. All right.
Cool.
Well, that's been it. Check out the book, Not Good Yet. Check out Jacob Jonas online.
PAPARMOSXAS on Instagram, and Jacob Jonas everywhere else.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Bye, guys. Next time.
See ya.